just going to start with a small warm-up. Put your hands in the air and just make small circles. Other way. To the side. And the other way. In front. And the other way. And back. And here, try to stretch up, touch the ceiling when you go up. Stand on one leg and try to touch the floor with your fingertips without touching the floor with your other leg. Here and up. The other one. And squat just a bit. Put your legs together. Make circles. And the other way. Do just some air squats, weight down for a bit and then go up. Okay. Let me just get you. So then I'm going to be teaching basically my favorite moves from the back, and it's going to be guys just call it rear naked, but a lot of the chokes, most of the chokes I'm going to be doing from the back are going to be kind of a one-handed rear naked where you put the hand on the shoulder and then press here. But start on the back and do this grip here, and then with controlling his arms, we're going to have the arm that has the underhook that's going to go on the wrist here, and this hand is going to be occupied for dealing with this arm here. But for the first one, we're going to focus on trapping this arm down. So from here, and he's kind of fighting here, I'm going to just grab the bottom of his thumb here with kind of my open palm here, and then try to put him down here and put my heel over. So I think it's better than to grip his wrist, to grab his thumb for more leverage, and then just squeeze him here, try to put his arm down here, and when he's down here, you can put your heel over and lock him down here. And the more flexible you get, you can do it at higher levels. So if he's up here, some guys can do it from here and just squeeze their heel over and pull him down from here. But it's most comfortable if you get him down here and then you just slide your heel over. And then what you're going to do is just squeeze your heel downwards and outwards here. So if he's trying to escape, you got him pinned here. And you just want to keep holding this one here. And you're going to use this free arm to choke him. So you can do this, just do the normal rear naked, grab your gi. But usually I go here and grab his shoulder and squeeze like this. And you don't have to grab the back of his shoulder, you can just grab kind of lightly on the top and then use your forearm as well. So one more time, he's defending here. You can't really get that arm in one-on-one. So you grab the fat on his thumb here, or the lower part of his thumb, and put his arm down. And then put your heel up here and drag him towards his hip. Or maybe he tries to go on the outside as well, and then you got him here. But we're going to do one more move later, which is kind of a counter to this one, because it's kind of uncomfortable. If he does this, then he can lower his body like this, and then you lose the choke. But if you're here, he's kind of stuck, and you put your arm on his shoulder, and either on the back and kind of try to go for a more conventional rear naked, or just on the top of his shoulder and go for the forearm. So this is the motion that you're going to be doing, just pressing your wrist toward yourself and trying to get that the bone of your forearm into his trachea. So it's not necessarily a blood choke like the normal rear naked. You guys want to try? You can just call me if you have any questions. So I want to emphasize that you're going to be having the under grip on the opposite side of where you're going to be choking. So if you're here, you're not going to have this one free to be choking here. This one is going to be loose then to defend. So you're blocking this one with a regular under grip, and then you're going to be trying to get rid of this one here. And I got a question on if you have short legs, because this move is kind of it's better for people with long legs that are especially if they're flexible. But you can, if you're trying to get his leg in, his arm, and your legs might be too short, you can go to this side here and go for kind of the figure 4 movement and go here, and it can make it a bit easier. But you don't want to go to the same side, so if you go here, it's going to be way harder to lock his arm down, so you want to go to the same side as of the arm that you blocked. So you're here, have a figure 4 position with this, with the leg on the underside, and this one is going to be locking it down. But yeah, so you have him here, and he can either put his arm on this side voluntarily, or you're going to do it yourself, maybe to just, if you feel more comfortable here, or you want to set up the crucifix. So if he's got his arm on this side, you can now pull this leg outside here, and oftentimes he's going to be inclined to go over this leg for an escape. But this arm is now trapped, and then you lay down here and just do the same chill from here. And there's a submission as well that I don't use that much, but it's there. It's kind of an Armbar from here. You can try that out as well. So you have him here. Put the arm under. He's trying to wiggle out. Just follow him. And you can try to escape here if you have a tight grip. He's not necessarily going to be able to scoot down away from you. And you can maybe put this one under here, just have the kind of a half back, half hooks in. So, and then you can as well put this one on the outside, take him to this side, and then finish the choke from here. And yeah, I think once you're in that position, it's going to be better to do the trachea choke. So if you're doing it, you want to kind of have your forearm kind of aligned here with his chin. So if you're, it's kind of harder if you're going to be doing it from the butt choke position. If you're going to be doing this position, you just want to do the butt choke here or here, squeezing. But if you're going through a trachea, you want your forearm to be straight, and you're kind of wrenching your elbow back towards this way, and your forearm back towards your own chest. So back here, and kind of upwards towards your upper chest. You guys want to try or see one more time? One more time. So here, grab this one, grab the fat on his thumb, put it down here, just try to wiggle out, just follow him, and then this leg here, going here. I recommend that you stay tight the entire time, like you're not just gonna put your leg out here and make him feel all loose. So you're keeping pressure on him the entire time, okay? Trying to make him feel uncomfortable. Put your leg out here, and then you're gonna put that leg under and go here. Okay, just try it and follow me if you have any questions. I was just thinking, once you're in the position here, this armbar here is not really something we're going to be focusing on, but it can be good if his chin is closed down and he's doing a good job of defending. You can sometimes just kind of threaten with the armbar, which is basically just keeping this leg here and pushing your hips up, and then he might kind of start moving his body around, and then he can close in on the choke. But I can't really finish this arm bar very often. Maybe it's just some wrong technique or something, but most often I try to do it and he twists his arm around or something. But and what's important here as well is that you're always going to have your outside leg on top of his arm. So if you're here, you're going to lose a lot of control over this arm. You're kind of just going to be holding him down, and you're not going to be able to pull him and control him as well. So if you're here, you're going to be able to kind of control his arm and pull him towards where you want to have him, and as well do the arm bar move.
Are you hooking the arm with your right foot?
Hooking. I can just stay here if he's not resisting, but if he's going to be moving his arm around, and you're going to be kind of countering that and just following him where he's going. But it's not like if you're here, you're going to be able to hold him for a bit, but I would suggest that you always change to the outside. And we're gonna do, yeah, I think we're gonna do that one first because we're doing this move right now. So if he's in turtle, it's just another setup for the same thing. If you're here and he grabs the inside, he grabs between your legs, here, this would be a mistake. Most often guys want to go on the outside here and try to go for a single leg, or maybe switch for a double. But if you're here, just have a normal grip and turtle, and he grabs on the inside, so he grabs this leg. Then you can just go for the same grip as we were doing before. This one goes in here, just like we're taking his back, and then you just stretch his arm out and roll in a somersault. And just go, put your head down here, and here. And then you can do all the same moves here from here. So here, just have a normal grip on his chin and on the inside here. And he does the mistake of grabbing on the inside of your legs. Then you turn over here, turn to the side, and roll him over. You want to see one more time, or try it one more time? So the beginning position, one arm in here, one arm on the inside here, and it's going to be grabbing here, or like you can also try to bait him into grabbing it, like going here, keeping this one on the outside, and you can grab here and get into position. And then just roll, and when you're rolling, you just basically want to be sure you have this arm locked down so you can't post out. Pull this one into his stomach. This one is going to go back, and you're going to put your shoulder on the mat and kind of just roll over your loose shoulder. And do whatever we were doing before here, we choke over the armbar. Okay, just call me if you have any questions. Yeah, so I was going to do one more thing from the back, but I just want to, and this one was going to be the last thing, but since it's kind of connected, so I just decided to do it straight after that one. But I just wanted to mention a few things. If he grabs here, and some people were asking what specific way I'm going to be rolling. I don't think it matters all that much. Like some people were rolling straight over, and some people were kind of just sitting down here, and he just kind of got over to them. But if he gets over to the crucifix position without too much straining on your part, and it's working consistently, then that's a good way to do it. But most often I try to kind of just roll over his head so he can't kind of base out with his head or whatever, kind of just trying to make more of a ball out of him. So here, and kind of just leaning my shoulder on top of his head and getting him over here. And there was a question regarding the strength of this control and whether you can just kind of defend regardless of my grip here. But one thing I've noticed is better than holding his wrist. If you're just holding his wrist, it's going to be kind of more of a struggle than if you're holding the upper part of his hand, so just his palm basically here. And this is going to be easier, just pulling him down here or whatever. And if he tries to circle his arm around, often he tries to lift his arm and getting it loose like this and getting back down. You can, when he's going up, you just put your arm here on your ear and just kind of wait for him to get back down, and then you just grab him again. So you don't want to be fighting him with too much strength versus strength, where you're just kind of doing this battle here. Just if he's moving his arm around frantically, try to just hold him here. And if you move your arm, just follow him lightly. You're just holding his palm. And if he's getting loose, like right now, I would just grab here again, and then when he goes back down, you just grab him again and try to do the choke. And here, I don't think this one is very comfortable from the crucifix position, so I prefer the trachea choke from here. But one more thing from the back is, now we've covered this arm, getting it here, and this arm here. Sometimes, if he's being lazy, you can get this arm behind his back. So the same thing, hold the fat on his, below his little finger or pinky finger here. You don't want to hold like this because you're going to be pulling his arm up towards the back of his neck when you get it back there. So you want to hold this here, his pinky finger, and then you're going to just try to extend his arm, and once you have it here, try to get it to the side of his hip. So here and here. And from here, you're going to put this leg on the same side on top of his elbow. And here, you're going to just kind of pull his arm to the back of his, to his back, and stay tight up to him, up against him, and then pull his arm upwards. And that's a shoulder lock. So here, and just try to stay tight up against him. Then you kind of want to, I think you want to put this leg on the outside at first. You can just have it here and try to extend his leg to his hip. You definitely don't want to have this leg in, so you just want to put it on his hip here first, and then extend to his hip and pull it on the inside. Once you have it here, you put this leg on top of his elbow here, and then pull upwards. It's kind of awkward for guys sometimes because you're going to be kind of pulling his palm up against your crotch, but just try to be as courteous as you can. So here, put his arm down, and once you have it up against the hip, put your the back side of your knee on his elbow, and then pull here. And this one is kind of high percentage. I use it a lot. So I recommend playing around with it. So just try it and call me if you want to get some more explanation. Behind his back here, and the first thing you're going to do is loosen this leg, put it on his hip. Then you're going to pull his arm down here, and you're going to use the back of your knee to kind of slide it further inwards. But when you're doing that, once you're done doing that, your foot gets back into the hooking position. So here, if you're here, it's going to be a bit harder because he can move more freely and you might lose the grip. So once you're here, just put it back in here, and then his elbow is even more tightly locked. So here, and then finish it from here. Okay, just keep on trying. Yeah, we're going to try to just play around with those moves. Can I just get you one more time? Just kind of drilling it. So one guy starts with the back and starts in this position here, one arm locked, one arm on the shoulder, and then the person on the back is going to try to do this position here and try to choke, or get into the crucifix and finish the choke from there, or get this lock here and finish from there. And if you end up in this position, you can then switch to here if you want, and he's just going to indulge you and try to go for the kind of mistake, which is grabbing between the legs, and you can try working on the crucifix from there and going for the roll just for practice. But it's still going to be progressive resistance, so you're not just going to be giving him everything. You want him to see how it feels to work with a live opponent. So just switch partners, and we're just going to do maybe 5 minutes each. Okay. yeah, that was basically my entire back game, except maybe the Armbar from the back. And yeah, I recommend all those tricks. I think they're pretty high percentage, all of them. And recommended to keep on trying them. Really, as well, I think the trapping of the right arm, if you're holding this one, trapping that and going for the, what's it called, crucifix. I think that's one. That one is a bit more. That one is higher percentage than the shoulder lock behind the back, because he kind of has to be a bit lazy for you to get this arm behind the back. But still, it works a lot of the times. And if he's not expecting it, especially, maybe he's just thinking about something else, you get down to the hip and put your leg on here, and it's too late. You guys have any questions? Okay, just thanks for class.
Thank you.